What's up, everyone? And it's time for another deck review. Today's review is going to be on the Morning Calm Oracle by Seo Kelleher. This deck is it's the name Morning Calm. It's just the perfect name for it. This deck exudes just calm relaxation when you use it. There's nothing tense or stressful about this deck, which is something I loved about it. I thought it would be a great time to review this deck. I've had it for a couple of months now, and we're at the end of, Asian Pacific Islander Heritage Month, so let's do an Asian deck, right? This particular deck is based on the Korean diaspora, and I love that. I'm Korean, partially Korean. My mom's from Korea. So when I purchased this deck, actually, I just was online, and every now and then I get this feeling like I just feel so disconnected, and I was looking for a way to kind of connect with that part of my heritage. I'm like, maybe there's a tarot or oracle deck out there that's, kind of based on that. And I found this and it was on Kickstarter, and it had only been on for like a day or two. When I found it, I managed to get a early bird, so that was really cool. It was just completely meant to be. There's just no coincidences. It was completely meant for me to find, and I was so thrilled, especially seeing that the deck author was, a trained shaman. It was just everything about it just completely appealed to me and called to me. I must have backed it in like 30 seconds, and then I went and read about the rest. So, opening up the box itself, let me show you the front. So it's nice, has this gold Morning Calm Oracle on the front, and on the inside you'll see a message from the deck author, and it says, "With this deck, may you pause, inquire and connect with the divine spirits." Love it. Great sturdy box. The cards themselves, great feel. They have like a smooth feel to them. Fantastic thickness. They are oversized, which I think lends to really displaying the artwork really well with this one. I'm actually glad they went with an oversized deck. I don't do a rifle shuffle with these. I normally kind of do an overhand like this with, anytime you're handling like an oversized deck, I think it's a bit easier. I have pretty big hands, so for me to say that, it's probably right. And so they're lovely. There's two types of cards in the deck. You have your oracle cards and your sigil cards. So just to show you those, the red are the sigils and the blue are the oracles. And the only difference you'll see here, the oracle cards have you'll have your card with your meaning. Let's see if I can get that there. And then your sigil cards have more of like an energy that you're supposed to focus on. So that the way that when I'm using this deck, I often will shuffle it up, and then I might pick a sigil card and then follow it up with an oracle. So, kind of see what energy is meant for me to notice that day or for that moment, and then pick a couple oracles to help me with that, to help me almost like interpret it, I guess I want to say. You don't have to use it that way. I do just randomly pull cards sometimes out of here. Something about this deck is just really like, it feels good when you're using it. And the artist, it was an Asian artist who drew this deck. She just did such a great job. It's really lovely. It's like a watercolor kind of impressionist. I'm not an art major, so I don't know the exact word for it, but it's really nice. Let me go ahead and show you these cards so you can see what I mean. Okay, so we're back. Weren't those cards lovely? Oh my gosh. I don't know if I showed you before we looked at those, but the deck has this lovely gold edging on it, and it's like that matte gold, which is, right now it's like my favorite, having the matte gold, because I notice it really doesn't rub off on my hands, which is really cool. I mean, I know no edging lasts forever, but it just seems like the matte ones tend to last a little bit longer. So it's just a small detail that I really liked. But now let's get to my three favorite cards out of the deck, which were Inner Child, Kuan Yin, and Warrior Spirit. So we'll start with Inner Child. Let me show you this card. Oh my goodness, I love this. Look at this picture. So I chose this card because when I saw it, it reminded me of one of the only pictures I have of my mom as a little girl. She's in her little handbag and it's just so adorable. And this particular card, it just reminds me that you have to just, remember that childhood. It's when I think about her coming to America, it's kind of like she lost that part of it. And this kind of reminds you to like remember it, remember that inner child, remember that childhood, remember something innocent that you loved about that time and that happy playfulness. And so, I don't know, this card, it really resonated with me when I saw it. I like it. Okay, the next one I chose was Kuan Yin, which is the goddess of compassion. And I just chose this one because this picture is beautiful. I love it. I love it so much. It's really beautiful art on here. And drawing this card reminds you just to remember to be compassionate. Remember to, show that compassion when you're looking at a situation. Kind of be, look at it from both sides. Don't just throw judgment out. You really have to take your time and just think about it from all angles before you jump to conclusions. And then, put yourself in their shoes. Just try to be compassionate. All right. And last but not least, Warrior Spirit. I chose this card because I just love the energy that comes off of this. I call it like the bad bee energy. It tells me like, dig in, you can do it. When I'm feeling that kind of like, ugh, and I pull this card, I'm like, I got this, I can do it. And as I mentioned before, this deck, it's really relaxing deck. It's not a sharp, edgy deck, but this is one of the stronger cards in it where it's kind of like, you got this. So, love it. Well, that's it for this review. If you have any questions about it, I hope you will drop me some comments down below. Overall, love the deck, loves the aesthetic. I love how it makes me feel when I'm using it. This is one of my favorite decks it's in heavy rotation right now. And so, being a deck collector and having so many decks, it's good when you're pulling it out weekly, using it regularly. There's something special about it. So thank you to the deck author for creating this lovely deck. I really do enjoy it. Okay, so that's it, and until next time.